The story begins by showing a lot of raccoons. Then a man comes there and chooses one of raccoon for his experiment, and we can understand by looking at this scene that this is a flashback scene of Rocket's life. The story then shifts to the present time, and here we see the entire Guardians team along with Rocket in a place called Nowhere, including Groot, Nebula, Drax, Mantis, Kraglin, Cosmo, and Peter. But Peter was always too drunk to grieve over the loss of Gamora. In fact, after the events of Avengers Endgame and defeating Thor, the present-day Gamora died and was replaced by the Gamora from the past. But this Gamora was completely different because she didn't know Peter or the Guardians at all. At the moment, in the midst of all this, a man named Adam Warlock comes flying through space, who attacks Rocket as soon as he arrives because he had come to take him with him. But it was not easy to take the Rocket with his friend. So one by one Nebula, Mantis, Drax, Peter and Groot attack him. But Adam was single-handedly overpowering all of them, and in the meantime he badly injures Rocket, which takes everyone else to save him, and here Nebula gets so angry at Adam that she transforms one of her arm into a sword and pierces Adam's lungs. Because Rocket's condition was deteriorating, everyone's attention was on him, due to which the injured Adam got a chance to escape from there. On the other hand, Peter puts a machine on the Rocket to fix it, due to which the Rocket starts having more problems. Then these people immediately removed that machine. Then Nebula scans the entire body of the Rocket and tells that there is a kind of kill switch inside the Rocket, due to which if ever an attempt is made to repair the Rocket, it will kill the Rocket. This kill switch was installed inside the Rocket by its maker because he did not want anyone to make any kind of change in the Rocket's body, and if anyone tries to do so, it will kill the Rocket. So now Peter decides to go to the place where the Rocket was made and steal the data from the kill switch. Here Peter wanted to hack the kill switch's data, but leaving Groot with Rocket, they all head to the house called Orbiscope where Rocket was built. On the other hand, we are shown Queen Aisha of the Soverian race, who has sent her son Adam to fetch the Rocket at the behest of a man named High Evolutionary, but he fails. That's why High Evolutionary threatens Aisha that if you don't deliver the Rocket to me, I will destroy your sovereign species forever. Actually, High Evolutionary does experiments on the creatures of different planets, so that he can create a world in which the living species is perfect in every way, and High Evolutionary had made the Rocket as it is today. He did not know about the existence of the Rocket till now. But as soon as he comes to know about Rocket, now he needs Rocket at any cost because Rocket is the most intelligent of all his creations. With this, the story goes to a flashback of Rocket, where he is placed among some other animals in batch number 89, and here Rocket meets Layla, Floor and Teefs. All of whom soon become friends with each other. Here Rocket was code-named 89P13, with the story again coming back to the present time where we see the Guardians. Those who had reached Orbiscope, and when they are trying to enter that planet, suddenly the Revengers enter their ship, and here we see that Gamora is actually working with the Revengers and Nebula knew about it. She called the Revengers here to help so that Gamora will help them to get inside this planet in exchange for money. So from here Gamora enters the Orbiscope with these people. With this, we are again shown the story of Rocket's flashback where Rocket had become more intelligent with the passage of time. So one day, High Evolutionary tells him about his dream that he wants to establish a world called Counter-Earth, where the species he created can live peacefully. Here he shows a turtle being involved in front of the Rocket, but these animals were very agitated as soon as they were involved. Seeing this, Rocket tells at once that if a special chemical is prevented from forming in the brain of these animals while involving them, then the anger inside them will calm down. Here the High Evolutionary was quite surprised to see Rocket's intelligence, and with this the story shifts back to the Guardians in the present time where Gamora, Peter and everyone else enter the main headquarters, where somehow these people avoiding everyone and scaring a girl, they manage to get the data file of the Rocket, but before they can leave, the soldiers there attack them. But here very cleverly, Peter hangs all the soldiers in the air by making them all gravity zero, and to get them out of here, Groot also reaches with a ship, sitting in which all of them get out of there safely. When all of them check that data as soon as they come back, they come to know that even before they brought the data from there, a scientist Thiel of High Evolutionary had deleted the password of the rocket's kill switch, which at this time was with High Evolutionary on Counter-Earth. Here it was clear that High Evolutionary himself wanted it, that these people came to him so that he could easily succeed in his purpose. But Peter was ready to do anything for his friend. So everyone else decides to go to Counter-Earth except Gamora. Gamora stops everyone from doing this madness because the High Evolutionary is a very dangerous man, but no one listens to him and they leave for Counter-Earth. On the other hand, Aisha and Adam caught and killed one of the Revenger's men just because he would not reveal Gamora's address. However, in the meantime, Gamora herself calls the man and tells her location, due to which Aisha sends Adam and another soldier to pick up the rocket from Gamora. Meanwhile, we are shown in Rocket's flashback that by trying Rocket's method, the animal's anger had really gone, but instead of being happy about this, the High Evolutionary was much more upset because he couldn't digest that whom he made is more intelligent than him. After that, High Evolutionary tells Rocket that I will make my next project even better with the help of your brain, and also says that Batch 89 was always a test batch. You guys won't be a part of my new world, which means that after taking out Rocket's brain, High Evolutionary will kill Layla, Floor and Teefs along with it. Rocket tells this to his friends and he tries to escape silently with everyone. But as soon as the rocket comes out, High Evolutionary catches it and High Evolutionary immediately kills Layla, causing the rocket to break badly, and she furiously scratches High Evolutionary's face. And then he kills High Evolutionary's men as well. But in the crossfire, both of Rocket's other friends are also killed. Seeing this, Rocket escapes by stealing a ship. Here we can understand why the rocket became what it is today. With this, the movie cuts to the present, and here we see the team of Guardians on Counter-Earth. This place was just like our Earth, the only difference was in the people here, all of whom were created by High Evolutionary. Because of this, they all looked very different. They all look at the Guardian team strangely, and Drax ends up playing with a kid by hitting him with a ball. Due to which everyone starts pelting them with stones, and seeing all this, Groot tries to scare them all by increasing himself, but Peter stops them all and tells the people that he is here to save the lives of his friends. Here a family understands this and they also give their car to Peter, Nebula and Groot to reach the High Evolutionary. Meanwhile, Peter tells Drax and Mantis to wait for him when he returns. On the other side, Warlock had reached the ship to take the rocket. To see Rocket taken away, Gamora tries to fight off the Warlock. After that, we see Peter and Groot reach the High Evolutionary, who on sight tells his men to attack them, and here Groot and Peter fight bravely. Meanwhile, High Evolutionary starts taking his ship from here because he wanted to create another world through Rocket's mind, in which everyone would be perfect. That's why the High Evolutionary decides to destroy Counter-Earth. Because of which big explosions start happening everywhere on this planet. Due to the explosions, Adam's mother Aisha is killed in front of him, and seeing this opportunity, Gamora leaves with Rocket to save Peter and everyone else through another ship, as Drax and Mantis are worried about Peter and Groot. That's why they board the High Evolutionary ship to save Peter with Nebula. Meanwhile, Peter and Groot jump down with Thiel, after which Peter gets the password from Thiel. After this, Gamora reaches there to save them because this whole planet was ending, and in time these people escape from there. But on the other hand, Nebula, Drax and Mantis were badly trapped as the ship of High Evolutionary because the ship had now reached space. Because of this, all three were having difficulty in breathing, and seeing this, Drax breaks the door on one side of the ship with all his might, due to which all of them enter the High Evolutionary ship. Meanwhile, Peter and Gamora quickly attempt to hack the kill switch inside the rocket by entering that password. Which doesn't work at first, and Rocket stops breathing. Here Gamora sees Peter being too worried for his friend, and Peter's efforts bring Rocket back to life. Gamora is also very happy to see this because Rocket had regained consciousness and was now completely fine. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nebula, Drax and Mantis find a lot of children on the ship who were put here by the High Evolutionary because he was preparing them all for his new world. The only drawback in all of them was that they were not intelligent as much as like Rocket. Perhaps this was the reason why High Evolutionary was so obsessed with getting the Rocket back. While all three are meeting the children here, Peter calls Nebula, in which Nebula first tells that the three of us came here to save you and got trapped. Meanwhile, Nebula, Drax and Mantis hear Rocket's voice on the call and get to know that he is safe. Everyone starts crying when suddenly High Evolutionary comes there and imprisons all three. At the same time, he threatens Peter and says that if you want to see your friends safe and sound, hand over the Rocket to me. With this, Peter decides to save his friends along with Groot, Rocket and Gamora. Here Peter contacts Kraglin in Nowhere and tells him that he needs their help to save his friends, to which Kraglin readily agrees. Here and there, Rocket, Gamora, Peter and Groot face a few minor attacks from the High Evolutionary. But in the meanwhile Adam comes and attacks Gamora and all of them because he was very sad for losing his mother. But here he doesn't have any special loss. So Peter jumps out of the ship with Gamora, putting the ship in self-destructive mode, and the whole ship burns to ashes. In which Adam was also present. Here the Evolutionary unleashes several dangerous creatures of their own making, which are first encountered by Drax, Nebula, and Mantis. But seeing those creatures, Mantis soon realizes that they are scared of their presence. The rest of the Mantis manages to calm them down somehow. Along with this, Peter had also entered the Evolutionary ship along with everyone else. Due to this, a huge hole is made in the right side of the ship, due to which the ship was being destroyed. That's why the people of High Evolutionary stop him from fighting against the Guardians, because if this continues, they will all be killed. But the High Evolutionary's brain was completely damaged by this time, so he kills everyone in one blow, and after that he orders the different creatures and soldiers of the ship to kill everyone except Rocket. On the other hand, Mantis, Drax and Nebula find Peter, after which Peter asks everyone to leave, but Mantis tells him that we have to get all those children and creatures out of here now, otherwise they will all be killed as soon as the ship explodes. So they all go ahead together, and here they come across a very different and dangerous creature, sent by the High Evolutionary to kill them. Here we see the whole team of Guardians coming together and facing them in a very cool way. After killing all of them, the Guardians engage in freeing the children and innocent creatures, while here in Nowhere, the High Evolutionary launches an attack, in which Kraglin kills them in a jiffy with the help of an arrow. Soon after, he connects the entire Nowhere to the Evolutionary ship on Peter's behest so that all the children and creatures can be shifted from there comfortably. Meanwhile, Rocket goes further inside the ship to evacuate more people, where he gets a little sad to see so many raccoons and other animals, and after finding Rocket alone, High Evolutionary attacks him. He tosses Rocket from here to there several times, but Rocket quickly manages himself and attacks him. Due to which the High Evolutionary immediately moves towards the Rocket in a fit of rage. But by then the whole team of Guardians had arrived there. Here all of them do not give any chance to High Evolutionary to recover and go on attacking him one after the other. Because they all had understood that if they gave the High Evolutionary a second chance, they could single-handedly destroy all the Guardians. Here Gamora throws away the Revolutionary's mask, behind which he used to hide his hideous face, which was disfigured by Rocket. Maybe that's why High Evolutionary hated Rocket. Here everyone leaves him alone in this dying ship and starts taking out all the animals as per the Rocket's instructions. During which Cosmos was connecting the Nowhere and the ship with the power of his telekinesis. But in the end she gets tired and Peter is also trapped in the same place as the ship explodes. Here he remains in the spaceship, but here Adam saves Peter, because when Peter tried to kill him by blasting the ship, he was badly injured there and his life was saved by Groot at that time, because he believed everyone should get a second chance. Which he gave to Adam and Adam saved Peter's life in return. Here everyone is overjoyed to see Peter alive, after which Gamora bids farewell to Peter and everyone else and goes back to the Revengers team because she believed that the Gamora that Peter liked is not Gamora. And Peter had also understood this. So he tells all the Guardians that he wants to spend time with his grandfather on Earth because he is tired of running around like this. Here Drax and Nebula decide to leave the Guardians team and focus on the children rescued from High Evolutionary, and Mantis also wants to be left alone and live her life on her own terms. Here Peter appoints Rocket as the new captain of the Guardians. We then see Peter meeting his maternal grandfather on Earth. He is overjoyed to see Peter. Also, in the last scene of the movie, we are shown the new team of Guardians, which consists of Rocket, Groot, Kraglin, Adam, Cosmos and Philadelphia, and with this amazing movie ends here.